Hey everyone, Coder Rob here with part 2 on how to build a castle for advanced building topics in EverQuest Next landmark. So if you joined me in the first video, this is part 2, so if you joined me in the first video, you'll know that I was using this image as a little inspiration. I like the gate part, and that's the part I have here. And then the part I want to work on next is the towers. So I already dropped down a sphere over here, and if you've seen in some of my earlier videos, I showed how to make a donut, and that donut is used to stack to make a tower. The problem is this sphere's circumference is a little bigger around than I want for the tower. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing what I normally would do, which is cut out the very center of this sphere, is I'm going to actually come down some and cut it a little bit lower down here, because the lower I am, the smaller the diameter of the tower will be. So once I have that, I copy, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it a little off the ground here, right there. Then I'm going to paste it again on top of it. Now that I have that, I'm going to punch a hole through it. So I'm going to use my delete tool. I'm going to hit C to put in sphere mode. And I am going to increase the size of the sphere till it's the same size as the diameter of the circle I'm on. Then I'm going to do a shift tab, and that's going to allow me to use my mouse wheel to go up and down through the material. And I'm going to bring it up. See the ring there? See how the ring's almost where I'm standing? I'm going to make that ring just a little bit smaller than the circumference of the circle. And I'm going to delete out that part of it. Now I stacked this too high, but I only want the top one. So I now have to reselect the top one row, and I'm going to copy the top row, and I'm going to end up pasting this one more time. I'm going to do it over here. Again, I'm going to do it off the ground. I'm going to keep pasting this up a few times, and I'm just making a ring. Now that I have that, I'm going to select that, and that's going to be my tube for my tower. Now I didn't have to punch a hole in it, but it uses less material if I do. And I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to try to do stairs on the inside of this tower. I do have a video on how to make a tower and how to have stairs, spiral stairs in your tower. Not sure I'm going to do that on this one yet, but I think I'm going to try. This is a little more narrow of a tower than I've done in the past, so I don't know how the stairs are going to work in that. So I selected all of that, and I did Control C because I was tired of pasting one little ring at a time. So now we can paste 4 rings at a time. Alright, so after some thought, I am going to try to build some stairs inside this tower. I'm not sure how well it's going to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this on time lapse, and we will see. Okay, so I built some steps. They're not the best steps. They go up 1/4 of the way up. So I'm not going to build them up any further. What I'm going to do now is copy and paste that section over and over, rotating it 90 degrees. Again, I have a video that explains this in better detail than what I'm going to go into in this video. So to recap, I've done a small tower section, and I've wrapped the stairs around 1/4 of the tower, so that this step here, when pasted on top, will line up with this step here and continue around another quarter. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it on the ground. And I'm going to line it back up. And I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees in the same direction that the steps are going. Alright, so we are inside the tower, inside our working stairs. They're not the prettiest stairs I've done before by a long shot, but it functions. I think I want to put the tower at least twice as high so that it's higher than my gate over there. Alright, that's probably high enough. The trickiest part of that whole process is lining everything up. Once again, all I did was do 1/4 of the stairs, and I kept pasting them on top of each other, rotating them 90 degrees each time so that the top stair would line up with the bottom of the next tower piece that we pasted. Now I'm going to paste this whole thing right next to that existing gate. So I'm trying to think, I'm looking at the stairs where they're starting, trying to think where I want this, how I want it turned, because I want to be able to enter the stairs from the inside of the castle. Alright, so there's one tower. Now you see what happened? This happened earlier in the video and I didn't show you how to fix this. But you see how my wall here is transparent. So when that happens, and I don't know why, it's physically there, you just can't see it. I don't think I could grappling to it, I can't. So what I do to fix it usually is, and this usually works, I grab the add tool and I'm just going to add a Vox right here on this flat surface, and that didn't work. So I'm going to undo that, and when I undid it, it showed up. Don't ask me why. Normally adding the Vox will make it work, and then you do a Control Z to undo adding the Vox, but this time the Control Z it made it show up, so I have a complete tower now. So I can only paste the tower so close because if you have any Voxes selected outside of your tower, when you paste your tower, that would subtract from the gate that's existing. And I had already planned on copying part of this gate and pasting it over a little bit further so that they eventually join here. So after thinking about it, I can either paste that tower again over here, but what I want to do instead, I think, is go ahead and join it to the gate and then copy part of the gate and the whole tower and flip it, do a mirror image, and then put it over here. And that'll do a couple things. One is I already looked, and the way the stairs are going up, the stairs actually come right even with this top here. I got very lucky. So I'm going to poke a hole over here where you could go into the tower and go up the steps. And then up here I'm also going to poke a hole so that you can go up onto the top of the rampart up here. And by doing a mirror image and adding it over here, one spiral will go up clockwise and the other one will go up counterclockwise, and they'll both line up perfect with the roof. So I think that's the way to do it. So I'm going to copy this here, and I'm going to paste it to join it up to here. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and poke the hole into the tower now, so that when I mirror image it, I don't have to do that twice. Also going to poke the hole on this side here. Yeah, it doesn't quite line up with the steps as I had hoped. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably build some steps going down to it. There we go, I like that better. So now when I copy this, I'm going to come in at least far enough to grab the steps so that when I do the mirror image, I don't have to reproduce that on both sides. Okay, so let's look back at the photo for a reminder. You see the top of the tower is wider than the base of the tower. It's bigger around. So what I did was I created another donut, same way we did before, but instead of doing it down here where it's more narrow, I did it right in the middle, and that's this donut here. Now I'm going to select this donut and I'm going to stick it on top to give that flared look. So this is what the tower looks like after I pasted the bigger donut on top, and I pasted it a few times, and then I cut notches into the wall. Alright, so in closing, I just copied approximately 2 rows of the gate and all of the tower, and I pasted, and I did Control V to paste, and then I did a V to make a mirror image, and that gave us the other half of the tower. And then I did some box work on the walls, and I did some paint work on the walls, and I'm really happy with how the gate turned out. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. And so now we have 2 working spiral cases, and they go up to the rampart, or they'll go all the way up to the top of the tower. As you see, because we mirrored one, they both line up, and it worked exactly the way I had hoped. So pretty much the exact image I was hoping for. So this concludes this video. Watch for more. Thank you.